What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 108 of the On the Runs podcast. We are coming to you virtual. I am back at home after a quick trip to Tampa Bay. And let me tell you, I love running here a lot more than that hot, humid weather in Florida. Erica, how are you doing?
You guys will tell I don't sound super great. Me being tired all week was because I was coming down with something. So
The tables have turned. For once, 108 episodes, Erica has finally lost her voice. It's happened to me, maybe 3 times?
I am so nasally, it's not even funny. But besides the sinus pressure, I'm feeling pretty okay.
Did you try the key to life?
No, because I don't. Brandon's got the neti pot thing. I don't have the squeezy bottle one like you have, but
you got to get the squeezy bottle.
And that's just weird. Like, do I use the same one he uses? Do I have to
get my own? No, go get your
like...
own. I mean, you could sterilize it and everything, but go get your own. Try the key to life. You know, the key to life is happiness in your household. If you say it really fast with a French accent, you know what it is. So, oh man. I am fresh off a run. I just ran up the backside of McIntyre, which is a local ski mountain 4 times. And I think
impressive.
You're off a run today too?
I did. I went for a run just to kind of see if I could clean my sinuses with some fresh air. And I felt great while I was running. And then I get home and it's like...
Yeah. You picking up any stray cats on your run?
Rachel wanted to. Oh, we saw this cute little kitten. Like... It wasn't like tiny kitten. It was probably like, I like to call it the teenage, like lanky kitten, you know, like they're long and cute. But he was a little orange boy and he was just hanging around on the rail trail. So Rachel and I made some friends and made a friend.
There you go.
She was real tempted to take him home. And I was like, might as well.
It kind of looked like Maisie.
No, that's Scooty. That's Scooty colors.
It looked like Scooty.
That's a scooter colors, but he was really cute. He was so friendly. He was rolling over, like letting us pet him. But there was they're building a new complex, like really close to the rail trail. So he probably belonged to somebody. And I don't know. I wasn't going to take him, but Rachel was really tempted. Oh. I would have been like, okay.
Would have been a good story.
I was like, we can name him Cheeto or Cheez-It.
Got to give him like a trail name.
Yeah. I don't know. If we see him again, I'll think about some cool trail name to give him. We'll see.
Have you cleaned up yet since your run? Taken a shower? You know, do the steam to get the boogers out of the nose there, or so you did? I have not. I'm wearing everything I ran in, including my flip belt still.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you just get home?
Well, I've been running around ever since, and then cooked dinner on the griddle. But speaking of hygiene, which you do good with, and I apparently don't.
Okay.
Brushing our teeth has become a hot topic in the last couple of days.
I am shocked how many people have reached out and were like, I'm with Erica or I'm with Eric.
Most of them are with you, which just is like, you're all wicked weird. One person, we'll get to her later, she's like, all of England puts toothpaste on first and then water.
You know what? I don't know why it is. Like, that is something I've never thought about before. It's just something I did, and I don't know why I do it that way. It must have been like learning it way back in the day, but everybody has their own way, and maybe you just do it the European way.
Yeah. Now, one of our patrons, Hannah. If you want to join our Patreon, guys, just find the link in the Instagram bio, join that Patreon, become a friend or a lover of the pod. But Hannah sent me a message and said, hi on the runs. Just to let you know, this was what my dentist told me to do. You put water on the toothbrush, then toothpaste, then water again. And that is the proper way to do it, especially if someone has sensitive gums. But that's not what we're here for. We're going to have a poll. The poll's going to be, do you go water, then toothpaste, or toothpaste, then water? That's going to drop later this week. I'll play this clip, and we'll drop that. Yeah, we'll see. I have a feeling I'm going to lose again as I've lost all these bets, but it just means...
I will give you one, though. Our friend Jared pointed out that I was, in fact, incorrect.
Yes.
On our last episode, and I will own up to it, because...
And he wanted to be on your side.
I know, and I appreciate that, but I will eat crow. I will admit when I'm wrong. I misspoke when I said you can choose whatever state you want, but that's only if it starts and finishes in 2 different spots. So yes. Jared did point that out, but in my defense, I'm not technically part of that group. That's a 50 states marathon club. But the only reason I'm not part of that club is because I'm a little butthurt over them, because my Kansas marathon won't
That's
count
right.
for it. So I'm
Gotta
like,
go back.
it's either I go back or I go rogue like Patrick and just do whatever I want. And like, because Patrick is running 1 mile in every state just for the hell of it. So
He
I'm
just
like,
wants to say he ran in every state. And
so
I think
I
he
could
should have
do
the
it.
providences to that later.
I could do whatever I want unofficially, but yes, I will run a separate like Kentucky marathon. I will probably go back run another Ohio marathon just for the hell of it. Like I could do what I want.
Now,
I
it
like the
has to be a
freedom.
marathon. You can't go do like a 50K ultra and count that. In
I do
your book, I want
in
your ruling.
my ruling on my book is anything over anything marathon distance or over. Because
Okay,
I'm
so
counting like my 100-miler for Virginia. Like that 100% counts. I finished. I got an official time, and that works for
but
me.
that
But
one's easy enough to go back to Virginia and do a marathon. Like you could do the Virginia Beach
yeah,
one, but
yeah.
Washington isn't that easy. So you're going to count Washington. And well, do you already? No, that's Oregon. You already have Oregon.
I have Oregon. I did do
Yeah.
a marathon there. I did Revel Mount Hood, which doesn't exist anymore, but I did that back in 2019. So that counts as a state. Washington will be coming up, and yeah, anything marathon over a marathon, I'm counting as a
And
state.
for those who haven't listened to the recap yet and are like, oh, they're just up to date, Erica thought maybe because the Flying Pig Marathon touched the state of Kentucky for about 30 feet that she could count it
It
as
was
a
like 2
marathon
miles,
state
man.
and do Ohio later. So 2 miles, 30 feet, tomato, tomato.
I was just trying to give myself an excuse to go back to Ohio since we have so many wonderful friends there. But I'll do it anyways. You guys in Ohio know I love you.
Well, something else that happened this weekend was the Will Run For virtual 5K. I don't think it was a virtual 5K. It was just the virtual live. You could run or walk a little bit. Yes, that's right, because I said I walked a quarter mile, and Aaron goes, that counts.
Oh, okay.
But they had their virtual live. I joined it on the Zoom, but I was driving because Adeline had practice, and then I brought her to practice, and it ended at 10. The Zoom started at 10, so they saw me driving, and then we got home,
nice.
and I just sat in and I saw all these people. There was at least 20 for the little
Wow.
more than 20 people on the Zoom. Other people did the race or the run and then joined or just did it later. But I have not opened it yet. Well,
I have mine in the other room.
I have technically opened it, but well, you don't need to get yours. I'll just show you mine.
Yes.
So this is the first time.
I
all
did
right,
totally
so this is
do it. I walked yesterday and I ran today. So between the 2 days, I've covered the virtually
same,
live.
and I got my run in today up McIntyre. So, anyways, the first thing in the box, I know what it is because I'm feeling it. We got Will Run For socks.
Yes, excellent.
By
Very
Big
excited to try those.
Skylines. Socks on, baby. I love it. Little rock on. So we got some socks. Let's see, what else do we have here?
I'm excited to see that medal.
We have some virtually live stickers. Oh, this is nice because it's the matte or the vinyl finish. I like it. I like it a lot. I wonder if they got these from the same place as we get ours. What else do we have here? Here's a pamphlet. The money went to a good foundation, a good cause for breast cancer, of course. Erin has breast cancer. Recently, she told everyone about it. So it's Unite for her, and it's a little pamphlet on it. What else do we have here? Okay, that is the medal. I don't want to do it yet. Pins. We got Will Run For pins. We got some FU cancer right there.
Nice.
Love it. What else? What else? What else? I like revealing it this way versus just an Instagram photo. Magnets. Oh, finally some magnets. Will Run For, by the way. Your shirt orders are in the queue. It just hasn't come in yet. I haven't gotten the shirts. Oh, here's my bib, which I guess I did not wear up Mount McIntyre today. I just called it Mount McIntyre. It's anything but a mountain, but it is a steep hill. And yeah, okay. So now we got the medal. Dun 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 dun. Dun. This is, I think, by like Ragged Cuts.
Something
I think Ragged
like that,
Cuts
yeah.
was it? I recognize that because it was Ragged Mountain. Yeah, Connecticut, which they thought was New England, isn't New England. It is, but
nice.
All right, here's the beautiful virtually live medal.
God, look at that thing. That's gorgeous.
That. Wow. There we go.
I'm going to display that with pride. Hell
now
yes.
It's wood, but like look at the detail there on the back. I don't know if you can see, but like now, I'm not talking about the back detail, but look at the hair.
Oh
right?
my gosh, yeah.
That's what I'm showing you, the hair. and you can see it better in the back. Oh, you can see it in the front too, just like every perfect point. I wonder what kind of machine or saw cut this. It's beautiful, and it says, F cancer
Lasers.
on the shirt there. Will run for a podcast, and then a little 2004 right there. That's great. That's amazing.
Nice.
So we're gonna put that right there. You can see it. Yeah, you can see it in the video. If I turn my camera a little more. Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Will run for it. Thank you so much.
Nice
Your
work.
stuff is in the mail. Well, it's not in the mail. Actually, you'll get it at Mount Washington, which I'm training for, and it's about a month away.
There you go.
So I did request to have everything in by Father's Day. He said no problem. So because I knew that was coming up, Mount Washington. Pretty pumped for that.
What's going on with our sweatshirts?
It's the same thing. He took the sweatshirts and he's making the shirts with the hoodies.
Perfect.
That's right. We had 5. So he's on it, and we got the sneaky stoolie going on the sweatshirt.
I gotta have that because I want to bring it with me when I go to Washington, so I can have a nice sweatshirt to wear.
Yes. You cannot eat in it.
Stoolie.
It's a rule. You cannot eat in your On the Runs hoodie.
Why? Because I'm going to slop all over it?
I don't want any food to get on it or ruin it. It's a no eating or drinking hoodie.
You know what? That's a wise rule, especially for me, because I am the queen of crumbs. I just make a mess. Like, literally, I'll be sitting on we eat on the couch because it's just me and Brandon, but I will tuck a napkin into my my sweatshirt and just eat that way.
Need a picture of that.
Like 9 times out of 10. I get stuff on it, so I'm not the neatest eater. I try. Like, you can take me out to nice places. I won't.
I'm not either.
I won't embarrass myself.
I'm not either. So that's why I'm going to be extra cautious. I mean, that's not a cheap hoodie. We went and got a nice one, and he's putting our logo on it, and the sneaky hoodie or the sneaky stoolie, and a couple of our Patreons said yes, they want one, so we got them for them too.
Cool.
So yeah, pretty excited. Back home, probably on the road again next week, but we have a great guest today, and this is a little different from what we've done before, but real quick, let's talk about Coach Mike.
Oh man, Coach Mike is the excellent man behind the Boston Bulldogs, which we've heard so much about between talking to Patrick Karen and Dan Liszczek, and he's just an amazing man who's got quite the story, and he put this together to help others.
Coach Mike founded the Boston Bulldogs, and when I said this is going to be a little different, here's what it is. I got my way, he got his way, okay? He wanted to come on and just talk about the Bulldogs and highlight some of his Bulldogs and talk about, what the Bulldogs, their purpose is, their identity, the 5K coming up they have. And I'm like, well, here's how we do things, Mike. We want to talk to our guests and hear about them and their story. And I really want to talk about you and give you an episode. So we settled in the middle. The first 30 minutes is Coach Mike, and then we bring on a couple of his Bulldogs, and they're so amazing. We're going to bring them back for their own episode further down the line. Ashley and Ari are amazing. Ari is going to run the Boston Marathon next year. Ashley just ran the Boston Marathon, and then Coach Mike, 75 years old, been running for I think it's over 40 years, maybe longer than that. Is that 50 years? Like running. I love what Pam said. She's not sober because of running, but she gets to run because she's sober. But I think Coach Mike, has brought a place here with the Bulldogs to provide a place for anyone who suffers with addiction and is currently in recovery, or anyone whose life has been affected by someone with addiction or helping someone with recovery. That's what Mike provides. And it just seems like this wicked, awesome community. And
400 strong.
Yes. And I want to plug before we get to the episode, because I don't want to plug it after in case it takes people a couple days. There's a 5K in Franklin Park, the zoo in Boston, the Franklin Zoo, on Sunday morning. The Bulldogs are putting it on. It's their big event every year. And there's 400 to 600 runners. It sounds like it's going to be awesome. I might be making an appearance there. I can't tell you yet. I don't know fully what our weekend plans are, but I think I can make a Sunday morning race, but I'll have to shoot right out of there after. So I think I'm going to make it. I think.
Excellent.
Fingers crossed. And then Ashley and I are going to do a little trade. And if I don't make it, I will make it to something with the Bulldogs later. Maybe I'll go to one of their 6 a.m. Saturday runs or something, or one of their evening get-togethers and get to meet guys. And I can't wait. So you guys are going to love this episode. Little disclaimer, Mike's microphone was a little iffy from time to time, but the story is worth it. You're going to love this, guys. Enjoy Coach Mike Ashley, Ari, and the Boston Bulldogs on the On the Runs podcast.
Coach Mike, Ashley, Ari, I think you guys are absolutely amazing. We can't thank you enough for coming on the podcast to tell us more about the Bulldogs and this amazing resource you have for the community. So just keep going. You guys are wonderful. And I wish you so much success at this race on Sunday.
You guys rock. Thank you, Dan, the bearded runner. Thank you
for
Patrick.
Putting us in touch. Yes.
Yeah. And thank you, Patrick Karen, for putting in the good word when Coach Mike called you and asked about us. And like, who are these two knuckleheads, Eric and Erica? Who has a podcast with the co-hosts have the same name? Patrick, thank you. Dan, thank you very much. And guys, remember, it's the Recovery 5K and Tribute. The Boston Bulldogs Run for Recovery 5K will be held both live and virtually on Sunday, May 19th. That's this Sunday at 9 a.m. It is at the Franklin Zoo Park. It is a great race. I'm looking at the picture here. It looks beautiful as it's on grass and trails, and I think part of a cross-country course, as Mike said. Franklin Park Playstead, Pierpoint Road in Boston, of course. I heard you can take the Orange Line all the way to the last stop, which would be Forest Grove, and then you can like walk to the starting line. So if I go, I think that's what I'll do because I like to take public transportation. I think that's cool.
It is the easiest way to get in there. So I agree. That is the way.
So I also think we have another race to plug at the same time. I see it in the notes.
I was just going to say that. Yep, there's a race coming up. It's on Sunday, June 2nd. This is for the first annual Concord Pride 5K run walk event.
Concord, New Hampshire?
Concord, New Hampshire. Yes, I should say that because there's a Concord, Mass. I always forget being a New Hampshireite, right?
Yeah.
But this is hosted by the Equality Health Center, which proudly provides LGBTQIA plus health services to the community. So you guys are really going to want to check out this race. It's going to be amazing. It's the inaugural one. So my friend Janelle is looking for volunteers also. If you're not able to run, you can check out our show notes. We're going to have all kinds of information about it in there. But if you guys can make this event, it's going to be amazing. Yeah, it's for a wonderful cause as well. So
yeah, I'll have the link for
Sunday, June 2nd.
Yeah, I'll have the link to sign up for both the Boston Bulldogs 5K and this
the first annual Concord Pride 5K.
Thank you. I was looking forward to the notes. I will have in the show notes the link for both the Boston Bulldogs 5K and the Concord Pride 5K run and walk. And I'll also put Janelle's email in there for if you want to volunteer. I also see she's looking for a DJ or a photographer if anyone wants to help out and volunteer.
I think she may have found a photographer, but I think she still might need a DJ. So if anybody wants to volunteer to help her out, I know she would really appreciate it.
That's awesome. All right, cool. All right. That's quite a bit of race promos we've ever done on the podcast. 2 races in one episode.
Don't forget about the Goffstown Gallop coming up on June 22nd.
Might as well just load it up right now. Anyone else want to promo a race on the pod? Goffstown Gallop. You register, you're going to get a t-shirt, and on the back will be an On the Runs logo because we sponsored the race. We're a little sponsor, we're like a friend sponsor. That's what we are. But it's regardless, we're there. I won't be at the Goffstown Gallop, but you will.
But I will. And I know we have some other friends who have signed up. We got Pterodactyl. Pretty sure Lindsay's going to come. I think Yuki will be there. So among others, it's going to be a blast.
Is it Saturday or Sunday morning?
Nope. Saturday morning. It's definitely Saturday. It's always the 4th Saturday in June.
Okay. I definitely won't be there. I'm sorry, but maybe next year.
That is okay. I will let it slide.
Yeah. And then you have a big not a 5K, sorry. You have a big 50K this weekend.
Yes. So I'm really hoping that I could kick this head cold. If I'm not better by, I'll say Wednesday. If I'm not better by Wednesday, I'm going to go do the Key to Life thing. And
yes, I want video.
Oh God, you don't want to see that. That's
while we're pumping the tires for these 5Ks and your 50K, we have to pump the tires. And everybody go out there and find Hannah Newt on Instagram, on Strava, our Patreon, my sister. On Saturday, she is running in her first half marathon just a couple years ago when we started the pod. She was not a runner. I am taking full credit for this.
Hannah. Yes.
She's running. It's the Brooklyn half in New York. It's the one that ends at Coney Island. I'm super excited, and I heard Bex Gentry might be there. So Hannah, if you see Bex, you're gonna have to get a picture and say, "My brother is on the runs."
I will be super jealous, Hannah, but you will have earned a hug from Bex Gentry.
Yes. Oh, so
How
speaking
exciting.
of Bex Gentry, I have to tell you about my travel day back from Tampa Bay.
Okay.
And Bex ties into this.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys weren't on a plane together or something.
No, but I was with someone from England, and it was great. This is maybe my second. I've been on a lot of airplanes.
Yes.
This is my second favorite flight of all time, and it got delayed like 8 hours. So, or
I
eight's
saw
exaggerating.
that. So I was like, that already is like a negative for that, making you wait for so long.
Right.
That's
Well,
crazy.
my first favorite flight of all time was when I was on like a flight that had 10 people on it, and one was a friend from high school, Maggie Elliott, the girl I actually walked with when we graduated, and we just had the greatest flight talking, hadn't seen each other in like 10, 15 years at that point. Awesome person. It was great. I've only seen her once since graduation of high school, and that was the one, and it was great. I'll never forget that flight. This flight goes into the number 2 slot, and let me tell you why. I showed up to the airport 3.5 hours early. No stress, no anxiety, not rushing. I got to my terminal. I actually ate Chick-fil-A first, and then I went into the terminal, and I got some work done. I did some podcast emails. I did some work emails. I get ready for my flight. We're 40 minutes delayed. Not a big deal. I'm still going to land by 7:30 at night. And we all load on the plane, and I'm one of the first ones on the plane. Well, not first, but I'm like that first third, because even though I'm sitting in the back because I got my ticket late, I still had like some status. So I get into my seat. I'm talking to the staff. I'm talking to people there. And then the plane fills up, and it's a full plane. We're all sitting in the plane, and I am actually trying to help you edit your reel from the Flying Pig, and I'm into it. I got the headphones in, and I can just tell the girl sitting next to me is talking to the girl on the aisle seat, and the aisle seat girl is just blah 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 blah. She had a few too many cocktails.
Oh, okay.
So all of a sudden, she reaches across the girl in the middle and taps me, and she's like, "Hey." And I take the headphone out. "Hey, what's up?" She goes, "So what's your story?" And I just kind of laughed and smirked. And at this time, the pilot actually comes on, and he interrupted, and he goes, "We have an electrical issue. Sit tight. Might be 20 minutes. We got to figure it out." So I quickly just say like, "Oh, I'm Eric, and I'm here for work, and blah, 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 blah." The girl in the middle just seems kind of anxious, kind of nervous, and she is getting a little upset about the delay and says, I just want to go back home to England." And I go, "Oh, England." So I'm thinking, I'll just do an icebreaker here. "You ever heard of Bex Gentry?" She goes, "No." And I go, "Oh, well, now where do I go from here?" I'm like, well, she's just from England. She's wicked cool. She's a Peloton instructor, and I had a cool interaction with her recently. I just thought I'd bring it up. So the girl in the aisle, who's like a couple drinks in now, she's like, "Well, what was your interaction?" I go, "Well, I have a podcast, and she was my guest." And she goes, "Well, what do you talk about on your podcast?"
Don't mind if I do.
I just went out there and I go, "We talk about poop and running and how runners get the shits." And she's like, "Huh? Really?" The girl in the middle is just like, "Oh God, oh God, oh no, what did I get myself into?" Right?
Next to? Yeah.
So I gave them Stooley stickers, and they thought it was great. The girl in the middle, her name is Isabel. She actually went and found her Instagram, liked it. She liked the photo of Stooley, "May the 4th be with you," thought it was super cute.
Nice.
They end up deboarding us on the airplane, and they say, "We need a part. We're going to fly it in from Atlanta. It'll be a few hours." Okay. No big deal to me. Like, I'm still like, we'll figure it out. Those are the things I don't stress about. But I could tell this girl, Isabel, was nervous, anxious, little upset, but just like, am I going to get home? What am I going to do tonight if we have to spend the night? I'm going to miss my hostel in Boston and my friend. Will I even make it back to England in time? Will I miss that flight? So I ran into her in like the 4 hours we're hanging around, and I'm like, "Have you eaten? Are you hungry?" Like, and she goes, "I had a terrible $12 sandwich." And basically I just said, "If you need anything, let me know. I'm here. Let me know. If you don't see me, shoot me a message," because you already got the Instagram.
There you go.
And she's like, "Okay." And I just see her pacing at times, and I didn't bug her. I just worked. I was editing the Coach Mike podcast. We get back on the airplane at like 11:30 p.m. After all these updates, we finally get on, and I had some confidence we were going to make it, but then I had some doubt. But I had a backup plan. Like, I could just go get a hotel. You know, there was a hotel airport, a Marriott right there.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a stress to me, but I wanted to get home if I could for practice in the morning. And I knew she wanted to get home. So we board the airplane, and the airplane's probably 2/3 full now. A lot of people left. The drunk girl left. And she's sitting next to me and just starts talking to me a little bit, not a whole lot. But I get the fact that she was in America since the beginning of January, studied abroad, hasn't been home or seen her parents in forever. You know, she's 21, but just wants to get home.
Yeah.
The plane takes off. And she quickly throws her headphones on as we're like about to take off and just stops talking. And I'm like, it's okay. The plane's taking off. I'm going to get back to work. I have the computer on. I'm editing the podcast.
Yeah.
We take off for about 2 minutes. It's very shaky. And eventually she taps me and just says, I'm sorry. I really don't do well on airplanes. Can we keep talking?
Oh, okay.
Well, guess what? I love to talk. And I could talk forever, hours and hours. You've got the best seatmate in the world. Like, yes. What do you want to talk about?
What did you talk about? I'm curious. Like, how long was your flight home? Was it like 2-3 hours?
3 hours.
Like okay.
We talked for the whole thing.
That's a lot of time to fill,
parts,
right?
and I'll get into that.
Yeah.
I realized pretty quickly, though, that like me talking about the podcast or about me wasn't working. And she couldn't like come up with what a conversation to talk about. So I went into podcast host mode. Let me ask about you. All right. So I got into like, what are you going to school for? What kind of jobs is that going to lead? She gets all into detail about that. We talk about London and where to go. And she's showing me on her phone a map. And I'm like, I'm writing it down, you know, pretending, not really pretending. I'm actually seriously was writing it down.
Yeah.
And I told her, like, if you ever come to New England again, this is what I think you should do. Let me tell you, for someone who she doesn't do good on airplanes, right? But she's been on them hundreds of times. She's like, I know I'm okay. I've been to over 40 countries in my life. I know I'm fine.
Wow.
My body just does this thing. And I'm like, okay, well, let's just talk. The woman in front of us was like, stop talking.
Oh, geez.
We moved back a row because no one was in that row. And we just had a great conversation. The flight attendant knew before, during the long delay, that she was anxious, and he made her very, very, very strong drink of gin, which brought up my 21st birthday, the last time I ever had gin, and we'll never have it again.
Oh, I like gin.
Yeah. So and she's taking sips. She's go, I don't think he put anything else in here but gin. It calmed her nerves.
Oh, yeah.
So we had a great flight. We had so much fun talking, or at least I did. At times, though, it would get turbulent, and she would like quickly throw the headphones on again. It's like her coping mechanism
thing.
or something.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Comfort.
No, everybody's got it, so might as well use it.
And then she'd pull it off the ear and just continue where we left off. And I got used to that and comfortable, and just whatever you need, tell me. It was my favorite flight ever. The really cool thing was, because of the delay and all the water she drank, she's like, I really need to go to the bathroom. But the seatbelt sign was on. And she's like, this pilot needs to turn it off really soon. And I'm looking at the flight attendant who's sitting in the row behind us, because we were like the third to last row. And I'm just like, can we use the bathroom? Is it cool? She's like, yeah, it's cool. I'm like, you can do it. You can do it. And she's like, are you sure?
People,
and I'm like,
people
I'm
ignore
sure.
that sign all the time. Yeah. And they're like, hey, sit down. But they don't really enforce it.
She got up and used the bathroom, and she tells me, and I'm so proud of her, it was the first time she's ever gotten out of her seat or unbuckled from an airplane seat in a moving airplane in her life.
Ever? Oh my gosh.
And I'm so proud of her. And she did a great job. And she went back into her comfort zone for the landing, right? Put the headphones on. And we landed, and she, I could tell, like, she had just had a way to process it and deal with it and breathe, you know. And so I didn't bug her for any of that stuff. We get off the airplane, and I just say, hey, Isabel, it was wonderful meeting you. Great conversation. I enjoyed it. It's 2:30 in the morning when we landed. And she just gave me a quick bye. Okay, thanks, bye. And an hour later, as I'm driving home, I had a DM in Instagram with the most like amazing thank you message
that
anyone has ever sent me. And just, she goes like, She says, I'm sorry, I have this issue, and I need to focus on regulating my breathing. I just want to say thank you so much for helping me throughout the trip. Please know if you're ever in London, I will happily short you a day out on me. I'm glad you made it home to take your daughter to practice. Let me tell
Aw.
you, Erica, when we go to London, we are calling Isabel, and she's going to take us around for a day. And I told her, like, we want to go to the spots that the tourists don't know about and don't go to. So
Basically, but that was so nice of her, and that was really nice of you. Like, you were taking care of her without being like pushy or anything like that. You weren't invading her space. You were letting her kind of drive the conversation and like just helping her through it. That was really nice of you.
I feel like, and usually I get a little seat upgrade. I can get pushed to Comfort Plus. I didn't get it this time. I probably because I got the ticket so late because the trip happened so late. I
Yeah.
feel like I was meant to be in that seat.
I mean, maybe, yeah. They just
There's
knew
so many, like,
that you needed to hang out with Isabel for an evening.
that's right. I feel like just like it was meant to be, it was meant to happen. You need someone who will ask you questions and keep your mind busy and occupied and take away
I
from
don't
the
think I
bumps.
could have done it, so they definitely picked the right person.
She
I
tells me,
I never think of the right things to say on a flight, especially to a complete stranger.
yeah, she tells me the shorter flights are harder because the airplane ride isn't as smooth. You go up and you don't really go as high, and then you kind of come
Yeah.
down pretty quickly. Like it's a
Yep.
3-hour flight. She goes, the big international ones on those big airplanes, she goes, they're really smooth and I do really well.
Yes.
And so I hope she had a great flight back home to London. I hope her night, getting back at 2:30 in the morning, I hope she was able to figure her logistics and everything out.
Mm.
But man, what a gem. I love, like, she was awesome. Isabel, good luck with everything. You have your final year of college, and I guess in London, basically you just write like a $25,000 paper. No, it's a 25,000 word paper you have to write. That is your final exam for
That like a
senior year.
dissertation or
I
whatever.
know.
That's intense. Oof.
Environmental science, and she told me all about it and like what job opportunities there could be or that she'd want to do or not want to do. And like she works like 5 jobs back at home in the summer. So
Wow.
she was a sweetheart.
Busy
And
girl.
I was so happy to be put in that spot. I really was, because I was
Good
not
for
sleeping
you.
on that airplane. It was just editing the podcast. I couldn't do the sleep. So
Nah.
yeah. She, though, back to toothpaste. She told me that everyone in England puts toothpaste on the toothbrush first, then water. And she goes, it's not even a debate. And I didn't like bring up, hey, how do you brush your teeth? At one point, she's just like, I just want so badly to take a shower and brush my teeth. And I go, well, speaking of brushing your teeth.
That's a perfect like segue into that.
Yes. Oh, man. I really enjoyed it.
Good.
Made a super late flight. I got home at 4 a.m.
Oh my God. I would have been
Turned it into a wonderful flight. I'm glad I didn't. My boss told me, just get a hotel, fly home tomorrow. I'm glad I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Glad. So
Did
Isabel,
you make
you were.
practice? Oh.
Yes, I did. I made her I got out of Atlanta practice, and I got home and
Excellent.
took a nap with the boys a couple hours later.
Awesome.
So, yeah. Isabel, thank you for an amazing flight. That was a blast. I hope everything's well in England. And Erica and I are going to visit you when we go there for the London Marathon.
Eventually.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I'm going to keep throwing my name in. We'll see.
I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to do the same thing.
Oh, the odds of getting in that are so low. It's not even funny.
Unless you like move to London. I saw some crazy reel about like, well, you could move to London, and the real, I think it was Letty. Letty's like, let's all move to London, buy a house and get a residency there. And then it improves our chances by like 70%.
I know.
Yeah.
But fundraising is also an option for people if you are really looking to get in. It was not that much money because that's the route that I went when I ran London. And it was much, much less than I had to fundraise for Boston.
Yeah. That's right. Well, we could do that. I mean, that was like $2,500, right? Yeah, we could totally do that. Like, that doesn't scare me. It's the 10, 12 grand that scares me. And what I learned was with Boston is you actually like, you pledge a number, right? And the people who pledge a higher number usually get those bibs. So that's why 10 grand is pretty common. Like, you could pledge 5 grand, but you're not going to get a bib, is from what I've learned.
Yeah, they want to get the most out of it. So
I'm scared of trying to get 10 plus grand. So 2,500, I'm like, all right, I could do that. We could do that. But 2 more notes about my Tampa trip.
Sure.
I love my
Flamingos. Oh, sorry.
huh?
The flamingos. Oh my God, you sent me the thing from the Tampa airport. Sorry to derail, but I just remembered it and you
That's
showed me. And
right.
I was like, BRB moving to Tampa.
Yeah, what a big flamingo. Which pterodactyl was like, I wonder if it's a state bird, and that would make sense. But no, the state bird of
How
Florida
is
is the
it not?
northern mockingbird. That makes
Is
no
the
sense.
flamingo the state bird for any state?
I don't know.
I'm curious. Okay.
I don't
I'll
know.
look it up
Quick
later.
Google search here. 5 seconds later.
Derail.
Okay. For nearly 100 years, the mockingbird has served as Florida's official state bird. Yes, the mockingbird, not the flamingo, despite what many people think. However, the flamingo is the national bird of the Bahamas.
Okay.
All
I'll
right, we
take
can
it.
settle for that. But yeah, there's a giant, like 50-foot tall flamingo in the Tampa Bay airport.
Wicked cool.
And then there was like all these flamingo books and stickers and flamingo stuffed animals for sale right there. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
You know me, I'm all about the flamingos. There she is right there.
Yep, there she is. Bex Beast represent.
Yep, I
So
tried.
no, the two other things about my Florida trip, I really, really, really enjoyed my walk.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent half that walk on the phone with you, a video call. The two other people I tried to call in that video call with you did not pick up. Sleepy heads.
I told you, man, if I'm ever available, I will pick up when you call. So I'm glad I did. You showed me some cool sights on the river walk or the boardwalk or whatever it was, and it was a nice night.
I went
like a great night to be out there.
It was a beautiful night, and I went for a run on that same river walk the next morning, and that was kind of humid. The air was kind of girthy. I kind of struggled. I was sweating out some beer because after that run, but after that run, I was sweating out the beer because I saw one of the guys I work with, one of the big BD guys for the Navy side of things, and I sat down with him and had a couple, and everyone there was in like cocktail wear. You know, tuxedos and everything. Ooh. Just picture like people from the Titanic, the way they all dressed and everything. Like there was a gala. Part of the trade show, there was a gala. I was not invited. This BD guy was not invited. But everyone came downstairs after the gala. Is at the hotel bar, really nice hotel bar. So me and him, we were extremely overdressed. So as I walked up to the bar, very overdressed, wearing my UFOs, a pair of shorts, and that T-shirt, solid color T-shirt, at least no logos, and he's in a golf shirt. I'm kind of hanging out, and I look to my left, and I see a guy wearing a chef's jacket.
Okay.
I'm like, it
wasn't the bear, was it?
kind of different, and then I'm looking at him, and I go, I know this guy. He's on TV. Like, what's he doing here?
Bobby Flay.
Oh, no. But
I don't know.
Robert Irving.
No fucking way.
Yes.
Robert Irving.
I'm 2 feet from him, and he has a wine or something, or I think he had a Yingling, actually, because someone made the comment that he got a Yingling or something about it because I was drinking Yingling. He's 2 feet next to me around these beautiful women and all these other guys dressed up in tuxedos. The women were in these beautiful gowns. And he apparently...
Robert Irvine?
One of them, Irving.
I've watched his show for a little while. Anyway,
so he was apparently like the chef of honor for the gala.
That's really cool.
And from what I heard is people who go to this gala every year, they said this is the best food they've ever had. And the course was amazing. They said like everything was fantastic. So I have the crappiest photo of him. I tried snagging a photo, but I was too close. So the camera's really low.
Would you get like his double chin? Like I would get mine?
Like his head is just cut off at the top. And I have like some girls.
Look at that handsome guy.
That's him. That's him. And he looked like a gem. He looked like a great dude having a great time. Obviously, he's probably getting paid a lot of money to be there hanging out.
Well, he's a chef of honor, you said,
yeah,
right?
He was. And he cooked all the food for them. So that was pretty cool. Great. I only got the one crabby photo. My phone's downstairs, so I will just send it to you after.
Please do.
I'll post this on a reel somewhere and say, hey, Robert, do you want to cook for On the Runs?
Well, we can't afford that.
Do you want to run in a 5K with us and we'll like cook you some food on the griddle after, and you can just tell me how awful my food is.
Is he the guy who no, he's not the guy who will tell you it's terrible.
No, he's not the guy who yells at everybody and said, no, he's not him. No. So I think this guy would wouldn't he go and save restaurants and say this is what you need to do to save your restaurant?
I'm trying to remember what his show is called. I have it pulled up. Oh, Restaurant Impossible. I used to watch that show. Dinner Impossible. Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And where he goes and saves the restaurants or he helps save them, or he might say, you're gone, you're dead, you're donezo. So who knows? Anyways.
Wow, that's wicked fun.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a quick trip, let me tell you. It was boring. There was really no point in me being there except for getting to meet people and see how things happen at a trade show. It's not my goal to go to trade shows. I want to go to demos, but I might go to a little more. And I'll go when it works out. I hated that it was at the end of the week. I would much rather travel at the beginning of the week. And I might be next week's Tros. I might be on the road again. Still don't have the dates. But I'll probably be at State College, Pennsylvania.
Interesting.
Doing something.
Yeah, they send you all over the place.
They do, but it's always last minute. And it's like I was supposed to travel 2 or 3 times this month. I'm skipping out this week. I'm not going to Wallops Island. I still had the opportunity. I said, no, if I'm going to Tampa and then if I'm going to Pennsylvania 2 weeks after, I'm not going 3 straight weeks. Sorry. Yeah. It's nice that I kind of have a say. And it's good when I say yes, but it's also good when I say no.
Yeah, you have a right. You got to exercise it.
Yep. Enough about me. One more note I see that's missing is, and we missed it in the Tros, but you went to a baseball game with some pretty cool people in Cincinnati, and we didn't talk about it last week.
Yeah, we went way over our time for the Cincinnati recap, and even though it was a total blast, we did miss a couple of things that we wanted to talk about.
I said 1 hour.
Mostly I wanted to rub in. I wanted to rub in.
And Patrick's microphone.
Well, that's true. But yeah, I had to rub it in a little bit more that post-marathon, we got to go celebrate at a Cincinnati Reds game. It was me, Dave, Tara, and Jared, and we were all hanging out, getting to know each other better, and just having fun at the ball game.
Yeah.
And we got super cheap tickets just to get
like
in the door. And
I love that's the
really
stuff I love to do. I would love to just do that on the road, go to a game. I did that in Vegas, right? I did it in Milwaukee with the Brewers, $12 tickets.
Well, Dave is actually, he goes around, like he spent the rest of his road trip visiting some extra stadiums. And I've been trying to do that actually whenever we get to travel. Like Brandon and I went to Toronto. We saw the Blue Jays play. We saw a Rockies game when we were in Colorado. And then when we go out to Washington, we're going to a Mariners game. So like we're trying to do the same thing, just maybe not as aggressively.
Yeah.
Like we're not going just for that. It's mostly my races, but we're doing some extra stuff.
Erica first. Erica number 1. Her races come first.
I gotta say.
I mentioned Patrick's microphone, and you told me about Denise's microphone or the audio in Denise's episode, and then obviously the one with Patrick. Usually I do a really good job of getting rid of that noise. It's not that hard to get rid of, but I didn't even notice it. I didn't even really edit that episode. I just kind of quickly went through it. I had to piece a lot of those questions together. Yeah. And then because I did that, we recorded that Wednesday night and I uploaded it like at 1 a.m, Thursday morning.
You're a machine.
So actually I have gone back into the episode and I've edited that audio of like him moving around because he had that microphone on his headphones, like what you and I have, but we're using
this little bad boy. So it's every little movement you're rubbing on it and it just makes noise. Yeah.
Right. And usually I'm good at like getting those out because we do those interviews, those guest appearances weeks in advance. And so I have time and that's pretty easy to get at least reduce the noise. I've learned how to do. But you told me like, oh my God, there's this awful noise. And I was like, oh my God, what happened? And I listened to him like, oh my God. And we weren't
so
sure.
Weird. I just picked it up in my headphones listening at work. And I was like, this is different. So I figured I'd let you know.
Yeah. No, so I like I said, I've actually fixed it, but I haven't re-uploaded the audio. And I will do that. Right. So like months, weeks, days from now, when someone listens to that episode, they won't hear it. But everyone who did listen, which is a lot of you, listen Thursday morning, probably heard that. But everyone seems to love these race recap episodes of yours. They really do.
You know what? I just have to say thank you to people who actually enjoy these because I love making them. This is like, it's a really nice memento for me later on down the line because I get to re-listen and relive everything that happened. And it's just, it is nice to have that recorded somewhere. Like, sure, you got pictures, but it's just nice to remember every little detail. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you for making me want to run more. You guys are stars. I love it.
And I just want to say you're a star, and you are upping your game with Instagram because that flying pig food reel was all you.
I wanted to do something fun like that because I had seen, of course, you see other people doing it. And I just knew the food on this course was going to be like kind of bonkers. So I was going to go balls to the wall and eat every weird thing I could come across. So that I did.
But this was all you.
And
it was
did not
all
shit
you.
my pants.
Yeah, you didn't shit your pants. But tell me about like what it was like making a reel on Instagram.
It was freaking infuriating, man. Like, it's for somebody who's not good at Instagram at all. This was like pulling teeth, honestly. Just because it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. It took forever to get it to do what I wanted it to do. So I have a lot of respect for you guys who can just pull that stuff out. I don't know how you do it, but teach me your ways.
Well, I want to say, great job. I think a round of applause and maybe more cheering. Let's go, Erica. Let's go. Woohoo! Yes!
Thank you. Maybe I'll do another one someday.
Nice. Way to go, Eham. I want to say, like, I was impressed the way it came out because I think a couple days you were working on it and you expressed frustration. And I said, send me all the videos. And then you sent them all. You're like, let's do a Google Doc. And man, that's like pulling teeth for me.
The Google Photos is awful.
I don't understand it. And this happened with Josh with the Peloton. I'm like, I don't freaking get Google Photos. The photos do okay, but the videos don't. And I couldn't download them. And I had to like go in 5 different directions to download it. Someone please take me to school on Google Photos. And
maybe you should do like videos. Dropbox or something. Is that it? But you have to pay for that, don't you?
I love what we do. Just send them to me the way you do. The quality comes out great. Good. 99 out of 100 times. Like I made a quick one. And I did it pretty quickly. It took me like an hour, maybe an hour 15.
That's quick.
And at the same time, you finished the one you did.
Me. Yeah.
So I sent you mine. I said, here's mine. You tell me what you think. And then you shared yours. And I'm like, use yours, post yours. If you want to see mine, it's on our TikTok.
Fun. Awesome.
I posted it on our TikTok. And also we might have an employee soon who will be our TikTok account manager. We're working on it. We offered her the position. She's yet to accept.
So glad it's not me.
She's yet to accept. I'm like, listen, I'm not doing anything with TikTok, but if I just send you the videos after I post and do all that, like if you want to run our TikTok account, we're going to see. She hasn't officially accepted. I actually think like, she's like, if I do this, I have to take it seriously. And I'm like, no, you don't, but it's yours if you want it.
Well, for the record, I'll never know because I don't have TikTok on my phone, and rarely do I, unless it shows up somehow on Instagram. That's the only way I see TikToks.
But mine's on the TikTok, so go follow the TikTok. You'll see the edit I did for her food. I think yours is better because you put in the captions.
I tried. I mean, I wanted to comment on it as it went. So I know it's long, and I don't know.
Mine's much shorter. Mine was those short clips. You know, it's like bacon, beer, more beer,
Yours
bacon.
Is probably better because I don't think a lot of people watch the whole thing, but it's still, you know what? It's for me. It's a memento 100%. Of my race. So
100%, just like our yearly or monthly recaps. It's for us.
Yeah,
and it's freaking good too.
You have all those videos and you can use them however you like. So.
Yeah. You did a great job. Good job. I'm proud of you for like going outside of your comfort zone. As Ari likes to say, get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yes.
And you did that whole entire weekend. You got a little bit on the gram, posting some stories. I've taken a little bit of time off it. Not that I have, I just didn't have the stuff. I'm just, you know, I was tired all weekend.
I don't know how you do it. When you're logged into 2 different Instagram accounts at once, you get like all of the notifications. I had like 75 notifications, and at one point I'm like, I can't even look at my phone, and I just like left it alone.
I turn off my notifications. But what actually happened to you was you collabed with yourself.
No, I would get all of your, it would say on the runs, somebody liked this, on the runs. And then I would get 6-star Erica. So I would get 2 different sets of notifications for different things.
Okay, but what I noticed, like if I ever shared something and collabed with myself, I would get a bunch of notifications that would say, Erica liked your post twice, once on the runs, once on Eric's.
Oh no, I was getting like all of your notifications. Like
I turn
I
them
never
off
shut 'em off.
notifications. I only see it when I go in the app.
It's so overwhelming. I was like in sensory overload with
Yeah.
all that stuff, but that's why I'm not logged in very often.
It's been awesome
for
since I
yours.
got rid of, or since I went this way, because like
Good.
even my Gmail, I don't get the notifications because I'll have a ton of Gmail email. I have 4 Gmails accounts, right?
Oh my God.
2 of them are
Yeah.
really tied together because one was the first one I created, and I'm like, that's not really professional. It's not inappropriate, but who wants to hear from Hockey Puck Newt? It looks like Hockey Fuck Newt, right?
Okay. Yeah,
So
sure.
Newt.Eric is my personal one, and then the on the runs, and I have one that's just for races and signups and that type of stuff, so that doesn't get buried.
Ah, that's smart. Yeah. Yep.
So
Gotcha.
turn off the notifications, and it's nice when you open the app, you just see everything.
Logged out of yours.
We'll log back into it. Log back into it for your 50K a little bit, or just take videos.
I can at least take videos.
Take videos. We'll post later. Yes. Hannah, good luck. I'm so proud of you.
You're going to do amazing.
Yes, have fun. If you see Bex Gentry, give her a hug and say...
Tell her I say hi.
Yes.
And Eric.
You don't even have to say my name. Just say, I listen to On the Runs, and Erica Hamill is amazing. 6-star Erica. Call her 6-star Erica. She'll know that.
She will know me from that, yes.
This was fun. I feel like we really haven't caught up in a while, even though we talked about the race last week. We took a week off. Nicole and Justine did a great job. You could tell they had a lot of fun.
It. Yes.
That won't be a common theme, maybe a once-a-year theme, but Nicole is going to start our podcast. We're going to help. It's going to be kind of under the On the Runs umbrella, at least for the start. If she wants to take ownership of it after, it's all hers. But she is working on her podcast. She has the microphone. We're working on the photo art, the cover art.
I'm so excited for her.
We're working on it all. There's no pressure, no timeline, but she has the tools, and I'm going to edit it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we already started talking to 2 people about starting their podcast next year. And maybe there'll be a little On the Runs Media Network of podcasts in the future.
Aww. Man, what did I tell you? You're a pro. You are a pro now.
I have a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
I have a lot of fun. I'm ready. Like, I work wicked hard. I don't feel like I work at all.
That's great. That's the way it should be.
It's the way it should be. It's the way it is, and the way it's going to be one day. Erica, good luck. Have fun. I'll talk to you next week. Feel better. Go Bruins. Erica, take us home.
I hope everybody's feeling a lot better than me. You know that we love you. I hope you have a wonderful week. And don't forget to stretch.